And welcome back. So today's lesson is on mass in the imperial system. So we just looked at temperature in the imperial system, which is Fahrenheit, versus our degrees that we use in Canada, which are much easier to use in my opinion, because 0 degrees is freezing, 100 degrees is boiling. That's nice and easy to remember. Not so great in the imperial system, like a lot of things in the imperial system. Mass is a measure of the amount of matter in an object. How heavy something is, we sometimes talk about that, except that's technically the weight. The weight is a measure of the force of gravity on an object. Why are these different? Well, because the mass of an object never changes, but the weight can change. It'll change slightly, actually, as you move from sea level to a very high elevation, because you're getting farther away from the center of the Earth, and therefore your mass will actually decrease. Or more drastically, if you were to do something like go out to the moon, where your mass is the same, but your weight is much less because gravity is smaller. Gravity makes a big difference on weight, but it does not change mass. One way to measure mass accurately is to compare with known masses using a balance. Okay, in the metric system, when we're measuring mass, we use grams. We use kilograms, which are 1,000 grams. And we use metric tons. Notice how it's spelled T-O-N-N-E. And 1 metric ton is 1,000 kilograms. So that's our metric version of mass. In the imperial system, they use tons also. So here's the first place where we start to get things confusing. Notice that their ton is spelled differently. It's T-O-N rather than T-O-N-N-E. It's abbreviated T-N. And 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds, which is ever so slightly different from 1 metric ton, which when you do the conversion is actually 2,200 pounds. So they're pretty similar, but they're not exactly the same. Then we have a pound, which is what quite a few people in Canada weigh their weight in and think it's kind of like their mass. And they also use the ounce, which is the small unit of measure in the imperial system. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, as mentioned, and 1 pound is 16 ounces. So we'll need to remember this. 1 pound is 16 ounces, and 1 ton is 2,000 pounds for the next couple of questions. So make sure you've got that recorded somewhere. Check to make sure that it's on your formula sheet, and you have that with you, and you make sure you bring that with you when you're writing your quizzes. Let's go forward. All right, so here are some things. 24 ounces, some example questions. 24 ounces, how many pounds is that? I told you we had to remember that. There are 16 ounces in 1 pound. 16 ounces in 1 pound. So how many ounces do we have, or sorry, how many pounds do we have if we have 24 ounces? Well, we're going to take our 24 ounces and we're going to multiply it by that conversion factor. Which way over does it go? 1 pound, 16 ounces. I've got ounces up on top here and I want to get rid of them, so I have to put them on the bottom in my conversion factor. So that's going to be 16 on the bottom, which means we're going to be dividing by 16. We don't really have to multiply by 1 because that doesn't change the value. So 24 times 1 divided by 16, and we're going to get 1.5 pounds. Okay. 54 ounces, and notice the way this is written. We've asked for it to be converted into pounds and ounces, not just pounds this time. So we're going to take whatever's left from the exact number of pounds and convert that into the remaining number of ounces. One of the ways we can do this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our 54 ounces, we're going to multiply it by that conversion factor, and again, we choose to put ounces on the bottom so that those units cancel out. And that means we put our 16 here, and we put our 1 pound up here, and we get 54 over 16 which is equal to 54 divided by 16 is 3.375. 3.375 pounds. But like I said, we don't want this decimal place when we're writing it like this. We have a whole number of pounds, which is 3. I'm going to put that up here. And then in my calculator, I'm just going to leave this number here. I don't have to subtract it. I'm sorry, I don't have to clear it every time. I'm going to leave that number in there, but I'm going to subtract 3. What this is going to do is it's just going to leave me with my decimal. And I want to figure out how many ounces 0.375 pounds is. So to do that, I'm just going to convert in the opposite direction. Instead of multiplying by 1 over 16 this time, I'm going to multiply it by 16 ounces per pound. I'm going to flip that conversion factor over, and I'm going to get 0.375 times 16. So first I subtract 3, then I multiply it by 16, and I get an answer of 6. So overall, this is 3 pounds and 6 ounces. Now, one way to do a quick check on that is if we take our 3 pounds and multiply it by 16, that's 48 plus 6. That should get me back to my original number of 54 ounces, right? So 54 ounces equals 3 pounds and 6 ounces. And that's how you convert it when you've got two, when you're trying to write it into pounds and ounces, which is the way they would express things quite often in the United States. All right, now another question here. We have Rochelle giving birth to twin boys weighing 6 pounds 5 ounces and 5 pounds 14 ounces. What is their total weight or their combined weight? We don't have to do any conversions unless we get sort of an improper number. So the hint is add like to like. So what that means is you're going to take your 6 pounds and you're going to add it to 5 pounds. So we've got that 11 pounds, right? And then we're going to take our 5 ounces and we're going to add that to 14 ounces. And that's going to be 19 ounces. Now, the answer isn't just 11 pounds and 19 ounces, because that would be pretty strange. That would be a strange way of expressing it, because 19 ounces is more than 1 pound. So what we can do is we can split this up into 2 parts. 16 ounces in a pound, right? So if we've got 16 ounces here, that's going to be 16 ounces plus 3 ounces. That's my 19 ounces, right? I just split it into 16 and 3. This 16 ounces is 1 pound. So now what I have is I have 11 pounds plus 1 pound plus 3 ounces, or that gives me a final answer of 12 pounds and 3 ounces. So when you are adding 2 imperial weights together, just like carrying the ones in decimal, sort of, when you get a value greater than the next, like greater than 1 pound, you're going to want to convert that. So you take that amount that's greater than 1 pound, add it to the pounds, and keep the leftovers. So 11 pounds, 19 ounces becomes 12 pounds and 3 ounces. Last example for the day and for the lesson. This is on page 185. The weight of water is approximately 2 pounds and 3 ounces per liter. How much will 8 liters of water weigh? There's 2 ways that we can do this. The first way is to follow this hint. We're going to change all of our units into ounces first. So 2 pounds and 3 ounces is going to be 2, that's not a 2, that's a 3, is going to be 2 pounds times 16 ounces per pound. And 2 pounds times 16 ounces per pound, that's 32 ounces. And so we got a total of 35 ounces for each liter. 35 ounces per liter. Now we take that, 35 ounces per liter times 8 liters, 4,280 ounces. And we're going to take that 280 ounces and convert it back into ounces and pounds. So we're going to divide it by 16 ounces per pound. 280 divided by 16 is 17.5 pounds. Or we could say 17 pounds. And how much is half of a pound if 16 ounces are in 1 pound? It'd be 8 ounces. Right, 17 pounds, 8 ounces is how much this is all going to weigh. That's by converting first. The other way we could do it is we can just treat our two parts separately. We're going to multiply our pounds by 8, and we're going to multiply our ounces by 8. So if you take 2 pounds times 8, you get 16 pounds. If you take, what was it, 3 ounces times 8, that's going to be 24 ounces. And just like we saw in the previous question, where we had the two babies' weights we added together and we got 19 ounces, that was bigger than a pound, so we had to convert it into pounds and ounces. Well, 24 ounces is bigger than 1 pound. So 24 ounces, we can split into 2, which is 16 ounces, that's 1 pound, plus 8 ounces, right? 24 equals 16 plus 8. So this is 1 pound. And now we take our 16 pounds and we add our 1 pound 8 ounces, and we get 17 pounds, 8 ounces, which is the same as we got up here. Or 17.5 pounds, we would also say that, because it's a 0.5. So that would work. Okay, if you have any questions, as always, you can contact me during our tutorial times, and I'll be happy to help you out with them. We've now completed section 4.2, and there will be a quiz for you shortly in the quizzes section of D2L. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.